Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So every day, all the time, people always ask me, how the heck do you use a light pomade? There must be some secret. You must have real thin hair and it's really straight, but as you can see, it is not. This is the glorious mess that is my hair when it has nothing in it. So you may wonder, how do you use a light pomade when you do that? And light pomades are my favorite. Why? Because my hair is such a mess, and that's because using a light pomade just takes a lot of practice, and you have to know what you're doing and know a lot about your hair. And you might be wondering once again, what's with the get up? I'm going to a meeting after this and gotta look fancy. But anyway, so here is how to use a light pomade. So today I'm going to be using some Sheer Revival hair dressing, which is very, extremely light. And here's what you do and how you have to go about using a light pomade. So, like I said, before I get into it, you need to understand how your hair works and understand, a lot of people have wavy hair, and, not everyone's wavy hair is the same. And you have to know how your hair works and in which directions it wants to go and prefers to. So, first off, my hair is completely dry, but it needs to be damp. So, I'm going to get my hair damp. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just stuck my head in the sink and got my hair completely wet, and then I just towel dried it. So make sure to towel dry your hair, then take a brush and comb your hair through. So the reason I like making my hair wet is if I don't and I apply pomade, it just becomes a huge mess. So, and because I've been doing this for so long, my hair is trained and in the way that it naturally wants to comb back. Because before I started doing the whole pompadour thing, my hair naturally goes forward. And that's why I need my hair to be wet, is because it naturally grows forward. And when you get your hair wet, it puts some weight on it and forces it back. But my hair is trained. I've been doing this for years, so it's very easy for me. But don't get discouraged if it doesn't work the first time. So I'm going to get just a bit more water and put it on my sides, because my sides are the biggest problem areas. They like to stick up the most out of anything when I use a very dense pomade. So now that my hair is wet, what you do is take your first scoop of pomade and then simply just apply it like you would normally. So, this is usually the part that everyone gets to, where they, get their hair wet and then apply the pomade, but then where it becomes a problem is in the styling. So after I apply that, I'll show you. And then once again, just general rule when you're using any pomade is just get it everywhere. Don't leave any places not covered, and just make sure it gets everywhere. So I use about 3 scoops. That's usually good enough for me to cover my entire hair, and I have a lot of hair. It's very dense, very thick, and as you saw, there's a lot to it. So, but 3 scoops is just enough. You don't want to overdo it, or else you weigh your hair down. So now pomade is applied, and once again I use Sheer Revival hair dressing, very light. Get some of it off my hands. All right, then brush it through. What this does is this makes sure that the pomade is completely distributed and is reaching and covering everything. Now, as I said earlier, one of my biggest problem areas is my sides, but right now they're staying down quite well. If I use a heavier product, my hair typically stands up. Now, it's odd because you think, oh, heavier product, that'll keep the hairs down. It's not true, because my hair naturally, when it naturally, the way it goes, it would like to lay down and stick down. But when you use a heavier product, the force that you're putting into it makes your hair want to resist. So when using a lighter pomade, your hair naturally does what it wants to do. Now, me personally, for my hair, what I've learned over the course of the years using light pomades is that my hair follows this kind of pattern. So as you see, I have pretty crappy hair as far as it goes to, you wouldn't look at my hair and say, ooh, pompadour. in regards to a pompadour. So I have about 4 cowlicks. I have one back here, I have one on the side of my head, and then I have 2 in the back. So that's why I've never been able to do a ducktail, because my cowlicks won't let me. It's too swirly. So how I manage that when doing a full pompadour is, of course, Afro pick, because you want to use wider teeth, because when you use really thin teeth, I'll show you guys really quick, this is very thin teeth, your comb almost follows it too perfectly and you don't get any natural shape to it. So wide tooth comb, Afro pick, and then I go along in this swirling motion. Now what this does is this covers my cowlick, so my cowlick does not come up, because if I were to comb it back normally it causes splits. So then take your brush or comb and then kind of cover everything down. Now you can keep repeating this process until you get your hair where you want it, and then of course comb it out forward to get your forward round shape. And then once again, this is all just practice and knowing how your hair works. And the wavy pattern that my hair follows kind of a when my hair is combed back. So I have, rather than seeing that as a weakness in that, oh, I can't do a full pompadour because you gotta go straight back, I've used it to my advantage. And when I do that, I give this kind of swirling motion, which gives me a natural height and makes my hair want to come up naturally, because it's going somewhat against the grain. So you have to know what your hair wants to do and what your hair needs to do, because with a heavy pomade you can avoid that, because you can just do it, you're like, you're going to do this, and kind of force your hair into what you want to do. But with a light pomade, you can't do that. And you have to know exactly what you want out of your hair. And the same technique works with a part, but I know a lot more guys have trouble with full pompadours, because with a part, when you have a part in your hair, you can, it almost gives you more leverage, more area to work with it. So the full pompadour is always more tricky. But you know, over doing this for however many years and styling and whatnot, I've learned to work with it, and through all this, you know, it's all good, and I've come to really like my hair, and it's always interesting when people tell me that, oh, you got perfect pompadour hair. I have quite the opposite. My hair is not fit for a pompadour. It's fit for like some 90s surfer dude hair. But it's possible, and there are ways that you can manage and get around it and work with your hair. So you're not, you know, kind of a little bit discouraging in saying that with this video is that you're not going to use a light pomade perfectly your first time. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. But when you do, you'll come to see that light pomades really are the best for me. And I think they're the best because because it's not stiff in your hair, they wash out very nicely. And there are some great light pomades that don't leave your hair greasy because they're all natural. So light pomades are the way to go, and I absolutely love them. So I hope this was helpful, and if you need anything else from me or need me to clarify on something else or make another video, let me know in the comments. So there you have it, light pomade.